Hi, everyone. I'm here today with members of the Vision Implementation Team. Some of our conversations on the Vision Implementation Team are about so much more than just implementing the vision that we as a community have been discerning over the last couple of years. Instead, just as much or more of what we are discerning now has to do with this unique moment that we're living in and its many challenges for all of us. None of us have ever done this before. And if we're honest, we don't know how. That's a very real challenge, but it's also an opportunity for us to begin to lean into and to trust in our desires to be present to one another more fully, to love one another well, to give our best, to keep our promises. All of these things we do believe are a reflection of the work of the divine in each of us. So today we've decided to share with you some of the kinds of conversations that we've been having, conversations that are helping us to begin to ask better questions and shift our focus in the direction of what we think is most important.
I feel that at this moment in time, our work is paralleling the work that I'm doing myself, a time of reflection and looking inward, a forced time to stop doing so much and to reflect. And I've been grateful to have this team to talk with and share ideas with. And I'm looking forward to seeing how we can work as a church apart from one another, but still have opportunities to support one another and see where we'll go once we get through this pandemic. I'm very hopeful, even amid the ideas of change, which can be uncomfortable, but I'm hopeful that our world will see each other, each person as their sister and brother, and it's not just those who are like us or who we know.
When I was asked to be a part of this team, I was really honored, and I feel like, you know, Carmine and I we've been members of this congregation for nearly 8 years now, and we've been really nurtured by it. You know, we came to be members during a time of uncertainty in the congregation's history. I mean, we were going through reconciliation at that time, and we've seen how this congregation really handles uncertainty fairly well. And stays in community with each other and honors its history through the process and maintains connections. So I'm confident that we'll be able to get through this despite all of the fear that wells up in me from time to time about our present moment.
We're learning to be a church right now without a building. Although I long for the day when we will be together again in the sanctuary. But the vision statement talked about engagement, ever deepening and strengthening relationships with God, our congregation, our neighbors, and community. And I see this team doing that, and I see this particular moment in time as a way of learning new ways to go deeper.
One of those things that has never changed is the ability for home church to enter into difficult periods of time and come out whole and come out stronger than they were before. And certainly when I was asked to be part of this team, I didn't anticipate that we would be in another one of those periods brought on by this terrible pandemic. But I have tried to find something good to come out of it. And this team, being on this team, has been a great asset in that attempt. I think that one of the biggest benefits of being on the team has been to simply be in a situation where we have been able to talk about our feelings, talk about our situations, and all that has led to an understanding that we're in this together and that we're all feeling certain things that seem to be common with each other. And that can be a great strength as we react to that, I think.
My wife and I, Wanda, my wife, and I joined the church the last Sunday we were together in the sanctuary. And it was a real treat about the same time to be asked to serve on this team. I'm a retired Moravian pastor, and so I've seen a lot of different experiences of faith community. And to me, that's what home church offers to its members and its friends, is faith community. And this team has very much been a faith community for me during this time of isolation. And I've really cherished it as we've talked about our ideas, about our feelings about the church, about our feelings about the church in this particular time of isolation and separation. And it's become very important to me.
In these days of involuntary isolation, as they unfold, I've been trying to see this period in my life as a gift of a time to percolate and to breathe. Who am I? Where am I being called to serve my brothers and sisters and the world at large?
I think being on the vision implementation team gives us an opportunity to bridge back to what this congregation has told us over the last several months and to reach forward for a new future that we may have thought we knew, but we don't know. And yet we have hope in Christ that we will thrive.
And with all of that just sort of stirring together in us, we also wonder and ponder and pray what it means to be a church right now, what it means to be a community of Christians, what it means to be a follower of Jesus in light of what the world is experiencing and in light of what we are experiencing in our own unique ways.
For some reason, yesterday afternoon, I began to envision what that first service will be like when we're all allowed back in the sanctuary. Wow. And I thought to myself, I bet that's going to be the most joyous and fun experience. And I don't think that's far away. I really don't. So I think we all ought to keep that vision in the back of our brain as we go through this difficult time.
God is everywhere. And so when I go walking with my dog and I hear the birds, or, have special moments at home with my children that I might not have had, I feel God's presence there. I feel really how special those moments are. I'm hopeful and excited for when we're back in the sanctuary too. But I'm grateful for the time to slow down and see God everywhere.
This system that we live in is broken in many ways. Our healthcare system is broken. Our politics are broken. And the world has power condensed among a few powerful nation states with leadership that values their own power and money over people. That's me being somewhat pessimistic, but also hopeful at the same time that we will be really moved to do something through this.
The verse from Romans about not being conformed to this world, but being transformed by the renewing of your minds, and the renewing piece. I think we're on the cusp of that. I hope and pray that we're on the cusp of that and being open to whatever changes God may be working within us.
My prayer is that we will find ways to be creatively engaged through the needs that are arising each day with each other and with the world, to heal each other and our community, and then hopefully transform Home Moravian Church and the world around us. So I guess what I want to say is maybe this time is the beginning of all of us finding and following our visions together.
Each of us has bounteous gifts to offer to each other. And that's been a part of the experience I've had with this team, is that it's been clear to me that each of us has been offering gifts to each other. And I think that's true about all of the members of our faith community, Home Moravian Church. Each person has numerous gifts to offer to the rest of the community. And that excites me. That really excites me. And what really amazes me is how effectively this can be done even when we're absent from each other. And I think that's important for us to celebrate and also capitalize on the opportunities we have of still offering these gifts to each other.
You know, when we come out of this and we have that joyous reunion in the sanctuary, it will not be enough for me to go back to the way things were. I will be forever changed by this. And while I said earlier that I feel we're very much being called to action, I'm also very conscious of the fact that I'm not doing it yet. Like, I can feel energized and motivated to action, but actually doing it is something different. And getting beyond my comfort zone, getting beyond my privilege to a place where we are actually sufficient witness to Christ and his call is what I think our vision statement really is all about.
Conversations like this, we hope, where we can be honest and share openly, are really important right now for our common life and faith. And we encourage you as well to find someone that you can trust to talk to about what you're experiencing and what it means to you. To pay attention to what is stirring in you, the desires for good and the painful emotions as well that you also are feeling. What can you do with the positive energy, and how can you care for yourself and the people around you as you begin to name with honesty the many difficult emotions that accompany the moments that we're living and experiencing together? These are also formative moments for us as families, as communities, as friends. Ways to feel connected and heard and loved. I will unmute Scott, and I just want to say, if we ever make a T-shirt for this team, it should say, "Scott, you're muted." The vision implementation.
I have
team.
no idea how to use this thing.